There we are. We are live. Hello and welcome to Transformers Weekly. With more plastic than a Kardashian's purse, we're bringing you Transformers news from across Australia. This is episode 46, recording live March 17th, 2018. On tonight's episode, we're looking at some new repaints of movie figures, some new repaints of component figures, and we'll also discuss the conflict between brick and mortar stores and online retail. All that and much more coming up after this. uh, that intro, we never talked about it much. Managed to get Fiverr on board, someone on Fiverr, and said, "Hey, here's the G1 intro. Can you do it in a 8-bit format?" $5 later, we have that intro.
Yeah, we're actually dead. How much did you pay for it again?
$5.
Really
Although that's US, so $7.95 or whatever the conversion is.
Rip off.
I've got the keyboard, but yeah.
Now we marvel in its 8-bit glory.
Yeah, the best I can do is chopsticks. Oh yes, hello, welcome. Joining me tonight, we have John back from Queensland. Hello, John.
Hi everyone. You can't see
Hi.
my hand.
Hi, John.
How is it? How is it, everyone?
Busy week, slow week. Hate to be back at work, but I got 2 weeks of work left and I'm jobless, so can't complain. Max, South Australia bound.
Apparently we're getting another battery, so soon you'll be able to stop making blackout jokes every other week.
I went into the outback last weekend and went up to Silverton in outback New South Wales, and those beautiful mountain ranges in Silverton where the wind always seems to blow are getting desecrated by construction crews currently putting up wind turbines purely for South Australia. You have all that space in South Australia and you're coming in New South Wales.
Yeah, well, what space? Like, what are you going to put it on the Nullarbor or something? Mate, that place is packed. Sure, there's nothing of value lost in New South Wales.
There's also a massive solar farm just out of Broken Hill. It's also dedicated for South Australia, so it's good to see that the states are conspiring against each other to make money.
Yep. You're welcome, New South Wales.
Oh.
I ended up going around Victoria last weekend, so that's pretty good. Went up, hiked the Razorback and Mount Feathertop.
Oh, nice.
Saw the Gippsland and the Otways. So it's good fun. Victoria's got a whole bunch of really wide variety of bushland out there.
And no wind turbines. John, how you been up there?
Oh yeah, it's been all right. We're getting ready for the games, man. You know.
Oh wow!
Get set for the games. Oh man, I'm so over here in that. Hey,
I can't remember his goddamn name.
Oh man, yeah. Now they've put all orange lines on all like the roads everywhere. They're getting this whole dedicated lane just for themselves. So like, traffic's going to be so bad up here.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's horrible. It's already bad enough as it is. Now they're just going to close off a lane, and you can only go in there if obviously you're part of the
I can't
or, like whatever.
Which is
I was going to say Olympics, but it's the Commonwealth.
Yeah, is that before Easter or after Easter?
Just after, like literally, like a day after or two. Like it starts on Wednesday.
So it's going to be the same fortnight as Supernova up there as well.
Oh, probably. Damn.
Oh, just when you thought you were going to be busy. Yeah. Mick Malloy. Yeah, that's him, Mick Malloy. We're getting the ads down here. And going around and going, come on Australia, and we're watching the games and going to get the Barbie going. Like, I don't think the Olympics, even the Commonwealth Games, are something where people are going to get around a barbecue and have a sausage and watch the Commonwealth Games.
That's it. I even remember like years and years ago when it was the Olympics, not here, but somewhere, and the torch actually came through Australia or whatever, and like came through Labrador and stuff, like the Gold Coast. And only like no one hardly even cared.
Well, they were back in Melbourne in 96 or something, 95, 96, I think they were. Or even in 2000s, there was the games here after the Sydney ones. Or it might have been the Sydney ones in 2000, but
I won't even watch any of this. Like, I don't even care about the Commonwealth game.
Yeah, I don't think I paid attention to the last Olympics even at all.
Yeah, the winter one was all right because you just get to see heaps of people eat crap on the skiing bit.
You know,
but at least
winter one was great because you just got to see Russia making a mess of everything.
No. The United Athletes from Russia or whatever their acronym was. I had to Google that because like, why the hell has this team got the Olympic rings as their logo as their country? And yeah, realise it's no Russia's drug cheats. They're acting as their own party, but yeah, it was just. At least the Winter Olympics is something you don't see. I don't care about swimming. I don't care about track and field. You can see that any weekend on SBS or ABC. Like,
yeah, in the Commonwealth Games, it's not even that even exciting, is it? Like, I don't even know, like,
yeah,
what, like, you know, I don't even know why they do it. Like, you know, there's the Olympic Games. It's just
people train. They put their life on the line for everything.
They're all definitely good athletes. I'm not doubting that. Like, yeah.
Yeah, but they are on Ninja Warrior too, so and they can, and apparently Spartan Olympians don't do as well as other muscle-bound freaks of nature. But if there's nothing else for the week, I want to get into some Transformers stuff.
I suppose I might as well.
We won't focus too much on the Olympics. I don't need to do that. I need to share my screen before I open the screen. Woo! There we go. All right, bot shots. Famously, last week I was off at Silverton where there was no mobile reception, so I didn't get the bot shots winner. But Chris Turner last week won week 2 of March with his sweeps and a broom, which was rather fitting.
It's a good picture. I like it, eh?
Yeah. It's just the play on words, and it's great. This week for March, week 3, we had Tyson Richards post a photo of the Daniel exosuit from Masterpiece 21 Bumblebee doing the old crane pose on top of a pier post, just like the Karate Kid.
I feel like all those upvotes came from people, you know, just giving kudos to the balls it takes to put your figure on the side of a jetty like that.
So, that's salt water. That's salt air.
Yeah, and that thing, the arms just pop off for like, you know. It's just gonna go into like 3 bits.
Yeah, that's probably the maximum articulation before it decides to explode. So no, very good. You're in the draw for the monthly giveaway for March. We're going to get a little bit to it later. I've again went out to retail today and haven't found a single new figure that I can buy for the February giveaway, let alone the March one. So I'm going to have to start looking online for that. But great job, guys, and we'll look forward to seeing what's on next week. That's not Takara. We've had some new images or a new tease of a new Power the Primus figure, which is a repaint of Takara Combiner Wars Groove into Wreck-Gar. A little bit late for Valentine's Day. But,
it's a good. It's not a bad figure for what it is, though.
That little motorcycle model's pretty solid. I feel like the backpack doesn't do all that much, but it's still definitely one of the better Combiner Wars molds, and I feel like it works well for just. You know, it's not necessarily a 100% accurate Wreck-Gar, but it works well for him, I guess.
Does anyone have the Generations free pack?
No.
I think Jason might have.
Yeah, I wonder if this is just one of those heads plonked on Groove.
I mean, it looks like it, and then like some big hand there that just will clip on over his probably normal hand. Yeah,
well, that's the Combiner Wars hand, the new the new Power the Prime's hand foot gimmick. But the head just looks like a very good Wreck-Gar head. I just wonder if instead of molding a new head, they've just taken something from what they released beforehand.
Yeah, like to be fair, it wouldn't surprise me. Like we haven't heard any sort of release info on this or anything yet, so I'm guessing it might be just a little exclusive for one retailer where they just reuse a whole bunch of stuff.
Well, even out of all, and again, I suppose it's because it's a redo of Groove, but of all the combiners, it's the one that probably shows off the combiner ports the most. Like, it's not hiding that chest at all. the fact it's a combiner.
Yeah, actually, I feel like the chest and the arms might be new, but don't quote me on that.
Yeah, I don't have the Groove, so
In whatever case, it's not a massive departure because a lot of they can't really change the sculpting in any significant way for these. You know, it has to fit the same sort of silhouette to still function as a combiner.
Yeah.
All right. Coming up next, another repaint. We've it came out last week. I'm not quite sure if it was mentioned on last week's show or not, but not Age of Extinction. Even it's got dark mode there. The last.
Who's he a
the
repaint
last-
of? Nitro Zeus?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Nitro Zeus from the last night has been remolded and repainted into Thundercracker.
I was going to say, yeah, because Nitro Zeus has a different plane on him, though, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Right.
It's just odd that this is the box is saying Dark of the Moon. That's what threw me to start with.
I think they just because of the whole gimmick of the GDO series that they're specifically from a single movie. I think they just threw Dark of the Moon on there and said like, "Hey, he's just one of the generic guys in the background."
Yeah.
His bio says something like terrorizes Autobots in the skies over Chicago. So he's just supposed to be a generic guy.
Funnily, that says terrorized because that's a very Beast Mode or Beast Wars head on it.
Yeah,
It's either a Inferno. It's not Waspinator, but yeah, very, very Beast Mode head.
yeah. I think one of the things with this, that I'm finding strange about this guy is he's just so unprecedented. Like, no one really saw any reason for this to be coming or for this to even exist. Like, you don't look at a Nitro Zeus mold and go, "Oh, that's Thundercracker," but they've branded it as a Thundercracker for whatever reason, and he still doesn't look like a Seeker at all. It's I feel like they've just gone and done. You know what? We've got a cool design in our heads. Let's just make it. So we've just thrown a whole bunch of ideas onto this one figure and called it Thundercracker.
Well, normally it's a Starscream. Normally you get a Starscream, and if it sells well, then we'll do the Thundercracker and Skywarp after it. But
maybe they're just paying attention that everyone really likes Thundercracker. Like, that's what I'm not trying to be stupid, like, you know, because like with Masterpiece and that, like everyone, you know, always wants him, and like even with the classics and stuff, like, you know, everyone's always after a Thundercracker and that, like, so maybe they just think, oh yeah, let's do Thundercracker. Everyone wants Thundercracker. I'll admit, I strangely want it.
Yeah, I think a lot of the reason why people like Thundercracker is that the jet mode universally looks good. Like, I don't think there's a single Thundercracker which has a bad alt mode. Yeah, I kind of really want it, not because of any attachment to this character, because there is no character here. You know, the figure doesn't look particularly impressive. I just love that they've just gone and decided, yeah, fuck it, let's make this weird figure for no apparent reason.
I just want because I haven't seen Nitro Zeus in the wild yet. I'd just love to get that mold. Like, apparently, like between him and Cogman, there's the two of the most talked about or reviled figures in the last night, and they just didn't get anywhere.
Yeah, I feel like with those sort of end of the line type figures, they really drop the ball on the distribution. It's like the last couple waves, they're always a bit harder to get.
Isn't
Like,
he wave 2 though? He's only wave 2.
What? Which
Or
one? I
wave
think they're
3.
both sort of wave 3, but waves
Okay.
2 and 3 blended together a bit. It's the same sort of thing that happened with Titan's Return Slugslinger.
Yep. Yep. I'll be looking forward to it if it ever gets out here.
And if you don't end up getting a chance to get your hands on this mold, there is also the knockoff version, which is
is there?
much superior. Yeah, it's I've got it on pre-order, so I'll probably talk about it in a couple of weeks' time. But it's from Kuban Bale. So it's improved with die-cast and more posability and all that.
It's got die-cast. Bye, bye, bye.
All right. Coming up next, Cyber Battalion Shockwave stock images.
Does it have any die-cast?
Oh, those pins in his hips, maybe.
No, I don't want it. No.
Oh, it's a fantastic looking Shockwave, though.
Is this a little, like a mini one, or?
I think they're a
I think
deluxe.
Yeah, they vary, these ones, sort of between deluxe and leader size. They just pump them out randomly.
He's
cool
looking. Because he just
They
looks a little basic, so I was like, is he like a little one or is he a big one? Like, yeah.
They get sold in different markets. So, like, whereas we usually get, the main retail stuff here, these get sold in, South America, Eastern Europe, and like at theme parks and whatever.
It's cool, eh? He turns into a little, like, what would you say that is, spaceship or?
Yeah.
Pile of shit.
It's no different. It's no different.
That's how you really feel.
It's no different to Transformers Prime Megatron. He sort of transformed into a little thing like that and had his head sticking out the top of it. So
I'll admit they could have made something happen with the arms there. Like they could bend inwards like that. Like so there
are hinges there, and this does look like sort of just taken off of Weibo. So I'm thinking it might be mistransformed because especially you look at the panel underneath the head. Surely that has to flip around.
Yeah, well, even like the Fall Cybertron Shockwave, how the hands sort of fold into the back of it.
Why was there a picture of old mate?
Sideswipe. I'm guessing it's the next figure they're doing.
Yeah. Well, I think we might have talked about that before, where they sort of made a Sideswipe but accidentally made Windcharger.
No, it suffers from all the Legend issues where you got hollow hands. Even worse than Legends, it's got no knees apparently, and not much of an ankle articulation at all. But
I think the whole thing of this line is there was a whole bunch of hype for it when it first hit because we were like, "Oh, great! This is like really budget versions of the G1 characters." And it turns out like, "Oh, no, they're actually charging like $40 a piece for it."
Real budget if you can't turn into a gun.
But then when you get in the stuff that they're putting out in the Legends scale, it just does so much more for a lot less of the price.
Mm.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we'll see. We'll see if it gets here at retail at all. Next, we have some in-hand images of Power of the Primes, Optimus Primal. I'm probably the biggest Beast fan here, but
I actually think I want this. Like,
I've got no attachment at all, but this looks like a legitimately excellent figure.
He's the only like Optimus Primal that I liked. Like, whenever I saw figures of him, I don't watch the show, so I don't know if he's legit in the show like that. Like
flame effects.
But it looks good for what like even the original figure looked like that they brought out years ago. Like this looks pretty good.
When you compare it to what the two figures that come before, the Rodimus Prime and the Prime itself. For people that are putting that Optimus Prime in with their masterpiece stand-ins or whatever else is just ludicrous to me, but that's up to them. But even like we've seen photos previously of the Hot Rod and the Rodimus Prime as well, this seems to be the best do at the evolution, air quotes.
Stupid question. Is that the robot with him? Like he's two robots and he goes into that armor, or how there's a robot
I'll see if there's a photo.
Like I'm not, because I don't honestly know. Like
the little guy,
he's
you can see on his back. That's just regular Optimus Primal, and then like, late in the show he gets upgraded into Optimus.
Oh, so okay, but that figure's not coming with this figure.
It's all the same set. Like,
cool. You think of Alpha Trion to Prime and Hot Rod to Rodimus. This is
cool, but Optimus. I just wasn't sure then if it came with him.
This is Gorilla Optimus to Optimus Prime, all the same as what Hot Rod to Rodimus or Alpha Trion. Not Alpha Trion, bloody
Orion Pax.
Orion Pax, that's the one.
And is there a separate piece Like, because when you look at the photos, and then there's that like board that see there. So, or is that
That's his
is the
chest.
is that like the other robot there?
Yeah, instead of turning it into a gorilla, the little Optimus Primal turns into a surfboard.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
So that's his surfboard, and then of course you got the chest there, which is
Then like a
his
powered
chest
up
there.
bit. Yeah,
Yeah, it goes over his torso, and
that's
so,
the bit I like when it's all combined. Yeah.
And sort of there too, you got his flying mode.
You know, I think this is a really good figure.
Yeah, I mean, none of the two that came out already weren't perfect, but they were still really, really solid by all accounts. And this looks like it might be even better.
The Optimus, like, I mean, I'm not that fond of the Hot Rod and Rodimus Prime, whatever, but I reckon the power of the Prime, like the Optimus Prime, was pretty sick. Like, you know,
I still think that's going to be Ultra Magnus.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it would not surprise me. I think it's a shame that we're not going to get stuff like Thunderwing and Star Saber in this line, most likely.
Well, they'll hinted, and there's still no sign of Star Saber.
Yeah, it just seems like such an obvious choice. Him and Thunderwing too. Like, I've got no doubt that we'll get a Magnus. Because, like you said,
is Takara doing this line at all?
Yeah, but they're just releasing them in the exact same way, like the same paint scheme and everything.
Yeah.
But are they called Power of the Primes?
Yeah, like it's under the Legends branding, but
maybe they'll do. I bet you they'll do a Star Saver.
I doubt it because they're not changing the molds or even the paint.
Yeah, but they've added ones before, like Groove, Groove and stuff.
Yeah, but even
blast off, like
that was in lines where like
they had a budget.
They were making changes. They're making other changes as well.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's a possibility though. Like Takara does love, Japan does love their Beast Wars stuff. So if they get a chance, and Star Saber's another big thing that they like. So if they get a chance to chuck it in there, maybe they would. Okay, yeah, we'll just make one.
Yeah, maybe. Like if it is going to happen, if a demand for that is going to come from anywhere, it's going to come from Japan.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, so they could if we're lucky.
If they're saving enough money on the general line by just doing straight up repackaging of what's coming out from Hasbro, then maybe a one-off figure like that might come. But
yeah, you're right. Might actually give them the budget room to make a Star Saber.
Yeah, that's a good thought.
But this guy's detailed. Like, he's got some great detail on him.
He almost looks on par with that Perfect Effect one.
Oh, Biscottita.
Yeah. Which is surprising given that this guy is like half a price and also has to incorporate the smaller Optimus Primal.
But being a leader figure too, would be around the same size as that figure.
Yeah, so
it
looks like they squeezed a fair bit in here. He looks really poseable. I love he's got like a sort of little bit of a glossy finish to a paint on him.
Yeah, like if it looks just like how it looks in these photos, like if that legit is 100% finished product, how we get it, like I'm impressed.
Yeah, I think it might be the case because I'm pretty sure that this is the final product. Like
the actual figure in hand. So
yeah, sweet. Well, that's like I reckon I'm definitely going to buy one, even though I've stopped sort of buying other Transformers besides Masterpiece. I'm still going to get this.
Even with the serial number branded on his pack there.
Yeah.
And screws facing forward, but
yeah, I'll still get it. It's all right.
Yeah. It's solid.
Coming up next, we have a licensed Tarn. Max, you put this in the run sheet. You want to fill us in?
So Tarn is obviously a character from IDW. No one ever thought we'd see an official figure of him. We did get the third-party one from MMC, and now Hasbro's decided that they will let a figure come out of him, though it is licensed. So this guy, Flame Toys, their Drift just came out, so they're very, very expensive, but also like some of the best action figures you can possibly buy. Like, so this is by a design team called Chemical Attack. So they've done a lot of work where they sort of hide articulation in the sculpting. So like, joints will just come out of nowhere, and they're super, super poseable, really detailed, and really well built as well.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to get it. I can't wait.
Yeah,
like,
I was going to say, John, you sort of collect the Evangelion and the like the Macross little statues, figurines,
Yeah.
action figures, whatever whatever you want to call them. But this sort of I when I seen this, it definitely fitted in that sort of display.
It just looks awesome. Like, I think they like, and like even when I had the third party ton, like, I would only have that as Tarn, like not as his tank. Like, no, his tank's kind of cool, but like, like the robot is by far the main appeal for Tarn, in my opinion, anyway. Like,
I mean, the funny thing of that figure is that he's got a really, really like quick and simple transformation that's fun to do, but he also transformed once in the comic.
Yeah, that's it. Like, so you don't need to.
Because they have this issue in the current comics where they never have the characters transform.
Yeah, and that's where I'm gonna push my point a little bit. Like, something like this is fantastic. Why I don't see the need why it has to transform. If the character isn't known for his alt mode, if it's just another Cybertronian style tank, then why?
That's why I think it works. Like, that's how I think they get away with it. Like, because you get annoyed when it's like Optimus Prime or Starscream or someone like, because that they've got transforming ones and stuff. But like, Tarn, that's it. He just looks boss. Like, especially like this. Like, there's just so much more detail you can add onto it because it doesn't have to transform.
Superhero landing.
Thing for their drift, but here it completely works. Yeah, and look at the posability on that. Like, you look at his left leg, he's got his foot completely flat on the ground, and he's touching his knee on the ground too.
Yeah, double jointed knee. Yeah.
Yeah, no, this is a buy. Definitely.
And if you're and characters like that, if you're going to do super articulated versions of them, not having to transform definitely helps the articulation out. If he had to transform, there'd be issues. But it just, again, I don't understand that. Oh, it's a transform, but it doesn't transform. I'm not going to buy it. It just.
Well, it's the main thing, isn't it? It's the old Hasbro hasn't made it. They've given the license to someone. They don't allow. Only Takara and Hasbro can make transforming Transformers. Anyone else can only make statues or action figures or whatever you want to call it. Like,
I mean, it's also just the look of this guy is amazing as well. Like,
even
the joints are so seamlessly hidden. He looks like a friggin' statue.
Like that. The middle picture, like just when you like actually look at his face, like there, like there's like the little grooves under the eye and stuff, like the little dots. Like it gets me honestly excited. Like,
it's just it's packed with detail.
But even like the hands, those fingers, those pointy clawed fingers are articulated.
Yeah,
look at that. It's not going to be a massive figure, and Rose.
That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that he's small enough to actually go like kind of blend in with SH Figuarts and stuff. So like, you can have Tarn there, like, and like have Goku and that trying to fight him or something. Like, it'd just be good. Like, I still want him to be a bit bigger than them all, but not like huge.
Dragon Ball Z, Cybertronian incursion.
That's it. Yeah. Have him fighting Ash or something, just like kicking Pokemon to the side.
Just stand on Ash's head.
Yeah, just have him stand on Ash. Like, a few of the characters are already like dead, piled up, and you can have like Goku like coming at him or something.
He better be wearing Pikachu's head as a necklace.
As a face.
Jesus. He should be about 20 centimeters tall if their drift is anything to go off of. So.
That's a good size. That's a good size figure.
It's about the same size as the MMC one.
Yeah, sweet. No, that works then for me. That's good.
And just the extra articulation you get out of this, apart from the
cannon on his back.
Yeah, compared to the MMC one, that's a transforming figure. I'd love to see the two side by side in a review just to see how much more detail.
Good. If you had the MMCC one, then you could transform him and have that as your tank, and then just have this as the robot. Like, just. Match made in heaven.
Yep. Exactly.
Like, I still want the Mass 1 figure and that, and the Mass 2 figure. Like, you know, that's still like I still wish that I managed to get them, because they you know, that's it. Like, you don't. Not every Optimus has to transform on Megatron. If they're big, massive ones that are fully articulated, I can live with that. Like,
Also, his gun seems to go from a bazooka to a double barrel. Between that, where it's sort of both
yeah,
are joined into each other,
it's cool.
where they're sort of side by side.
Yeah, I don't recall him ever actually like doing that, but I'm not gonna complain about it.
It's artistic flair.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even again, just that silver paint and that purple paint just looks fantastic. There's little bits of yellow.
Yeah, like every surface on this guy is covered in detail.
Mm. Yep. All right, and lastly tonight, bit of a main discussion. Toys R Us America is pretty much shutting up shop. We've had reports also of Toys R Us in the UK, United Kingdom, whatever countries fall under that banner, closing up shop as well. Australia haven't confirmed it. There's been reports that they've said that no, we're staying around for a bit longer yet. Whether or not they do or do not close under their parent banner is one thing, but it sort of raises that question. They're probably the main, when you think about toy-specific shops, Toys R Us is probably the big one in Australia. You got Target, Kmart, Big W, Sir Toys, or Sir Toys might be, or Toy World might be another one as well. It's a dedicated toy shop, but sort of Kmart, Target, Big W are not just toy shops, they're everything else shops. So,
yeah, this is it. Like, this was the juggernaut across the entire world, and basically it looks like Australia is going to be one of the last places to have it, and even then it looks
It looks bleak if that's the case.
Yeah, we haven't even gotten confirmation that it's going to survive in Australia.
Ours weren't ever as good as the overseas ones, so you know it's a dark day.
Well, for one reason or another, but we've talked previously about how Australian Toys R Us seems to get the Takara stuff, whereas overseas they wait for the Hasbro releases or redos of the Masterpiece figures mainly. Even here, Takara box sets.
I think that's because of Walmart as well, because they get like Walmart specials over there. Like, because there's that Bumblebee that came out that's like a gold Bumblebee. You know, it's like the Masterpiece, like the MP movie one, the first one.
Yeah.
Like, which is the same as the Battle Optics Bumblebee or whatever. Like,
yeah,
and like, they got like a chrome gold one there and stuff. Like, they get all different ones over there. So.
Yeah, like I remember it's all Costco and whatever.
Yeah, and Costco as well. That's another one.
They're doing a whole bunch of Walgreens things as well now, and like whereas here we basically just our only exclusives are basically just.
But I think that's why Toys R Us didn't get them over there, like because they go, oh, we leave it to them.
Yeah, and then I guess Target occasionally gets it here as well, but not much.
I mean, if they had like decent prices, like, and I'm being realistic here, like, you know, they just didn't mark their stuff up so crazy or put like and then security bloody wrappers on it, and so the box gets all like cut into and ripped, and they still want you to pay, you know, $50 more than what its retail value is. Like,
well, I think the issue here is it wasn't really a sales thing. It was like what seems to have happened is there was like a private firm called Bain Capital in the States. They basically dumped their debt onto Toys R Us.
Yeah.
Which they like to as a business move.
It's all a business pyramid scheme thing.
They put all their debt onto it. They bought this company, put all their debt onto it, and filed for bankruptcy. So now Toys R Us is closing down, but all the executives are getting like $1 million payouts. It
just makes me think like of that like that meme on the net or whatever, and it's explaining like different democracies and stuff with cows. And at one stage, like Republicans, they were saying, no, but at one stage, it's like you have one cow, like, you know, you go sell that to your mate. Your mate writes down that he bought 2 cows, like, you know, so then you take those cows and put them in the bank. So the bank has your 3 cows, and with those 3 cows, you go buy, you know, like each transaction that just keeps getting one more cow added onto it, like, and you're like, what the fuck? Where are these cows coming from? And that's what this sounds like, you know. Yeah, we'll just give you our debt, Like, and then we closed down the stores. Now we've all got millions of dollars, like, you know.
Yeah, it's just like this tiny group of people, and the states really doesn't have much of a law against this sort of thing. Like, there's no really legal protection to
And
stop
then we're
this.
the ones that
Like,
lose in the
if
end.
it's if it's your own private business, like say you're gonna say you own, I don't know, some shop on the main road, like, and it's
Transformer
just
shop.
and you do some tricky business move, and it ends with you filing for bankruptcy, and you come out with a profit, right?
Yeah.
No one really cares, like, because it only affects you. Whereas
Yeah, I
something
get-
like there's thousands of employees across all these different national branches who are getting completely screwed over by this. Like,
And the main question is, what happens to all the toys? Like, honestly.
well, I think most
do I sell
people
them?
have moved on from retail nowadays. Like, I've shopped at Toys R Us 3 times.
Yeah, but I'm saying when they close down, who buys all these toys that they still have?
Well, I'd go back to
Probably
Hasbro, wouldn't they?
reject shop type places.
Oh yes, yes.
Well, that'd be so good.
$20 overlords, please.
$20 masterpieces.
But to be fair, Toys R Us does do some pretty good sales often. So
I've
Yeah.
bought things from them in my life.
they do tank. We
I
can
think my-
expect some good deals.
I think my Bumblebee, my original like masterpiece Bumblebee, came from there because I was just happened to be there and saw that they were there, and it was like $110, and I was like, yeah, why not? Like, you know.
Yeah,
Like
I'll talk a little bit more about it when we get to new acquisitions. But you can sit there and with third-party figures and that sort of skirt around between 2 or 3 different sellers, and the price could fluctuate between $10 to $40, and you don't have any issue because you want that figure.
Yeah.
I posted in the group today a bit of a poll about just how much people buy local retail against online sales, and the overwhelming response was probably under 25% of people buy figures for their collection from local retail. Now, looking at some of the comments, that was more of a fact that there's nothing at retail, just stores stocking very low quantities of figures, wave one sticking around and not progressing much past that.
Even then,
and
like,
having to go online.
Even then, like, even not just the stores, like, you know, like I've got a mate, you know, I won't mention who, but you know, Max probably knows him, like, because he's in my Japanese group, and I buy a lot of figures off him and stuff, and he's great. Like, I'll pre-order heaps with him, but like, he still can't beat what you can literally go order the thing from a Japanese store, like, you know, HLJ or Anime or Ami or something, and it's cheaper, still shipped to your door. Like,
Yeah.
Well, it's
I
the
suppose then it comes down to like what you value. Like, so, you know, I'm still buying stuff from him because
so am I. Like,
he's
so
got
that's what I'm saying. But like,
he
you know,
lets me pay, you know, overtime or whatever, whereas you don't really get the option of HLJ.
and same with me, and that's why, like, I've still got, you know, buy a lot of things like from, but like, you know, it's all depends. I might miss a pre-order somewhere and then get it through, you know, him. Like, but you know, at the end of the day, like, it's hard to, you know, support an Australian business, whether it be your mate or an actual store just down the road, when you know you can legit just click on it and buy it from the country where it's coming from, you know, getting made from, or like where it originates, and it's cheaper.
Yeah.
I mean, it does seem like Australian businesses are, like, the small collector-run places are getting more competitive and more viable nowadays, which is good.
It is a good thing.
Yeah. Well, you still got import and postage to look at on top of that as well. But just even like, again, like here, my Target, I was in my Target today, and they've still got Combiner Wars Blaster on shelves. There's nothing.
Yeah, like,
You
I've
ha-
stopped just looking at Kmart's and Targets. Like, you go once every 3 months and you could still, like, not see a restock, and like, you know.
Whatever, Kmart's doing
frustrating.
something or other right now where, like, everyone is just constantly posting in the group that their Kmart's empty. So I don't know what they're trying to go for. Maybe
I thought they
clearing
were
off,
trying to phase toys out, Kmart and Target.
It wouldn't surprise me because
Like,
they're
I
not
swear,
doing much.
or maybe that was Big W. Was that?
Target was going to do it, and then they pulled the plug, I think.
I didn't think they pulled the plug. I think they're just slowly still doing it.
Weren't they doing a
They just shut up about it. Everyone like thinks
Oh.
they didn't.
they were going to get rid of the boys versus girls aisles or something. They're just going to make it a combined gender aisle.
Oh no!
Like, they're well past that. Like,
Sometimes I think I just want to kill myself. You just can't escape all this stuff.
Exactly. There's boys Legos and there's girl Legos. There's not bloody.
Yeah, that's it. There is a boy, there is a girl. They can have their own lanes.
Yeah, it's either pink or it's blue. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's also
let's
like,
change it to the blue lane and the pink lane.
it's like, yeah, no one's trying to reinforce what kids want. They're just trying to make it easier. So if you go into a store, it's like,
Yeah.
right, I go over there and I buy something.
Hmm.
Isn't that what the stores do already? They like, put stuff at the front that they want to sell. Like
Most of the time.
they're all trained to do that, and they move the like items to the front that they want to sell.
Yeah. But sort of with retail, it all comes down to demand as well. Like as we were saying before with the redo of Nitro Zeus, like if I seen a Nitro Zeus in Toys R Us or anywhere for $80 for a Voyager, I'd still buy it because I want that figure. Cogman, I don't care what the price is, I'd buy the figure. It's just,
I guess that's the problem with bureaucracy, like because they're all run by a corporation or like a board. You know what I mean? Like, and what's that? Like one man's vision, like is ruined or something. I forget there's a saying, but like because like a whole bunch of people, it ruins it. Like, and they order say the Transformers in the first wave, then it doesn't sell that great or whatever, and then they just don't order in another wave. Like someone votes against it, goes, no, look, we've still got them there. And they just don't keep, but that's what they got to do. They got to keep restocking and get the current figures for people to actually buy stuff. And then they might buy the old ones because they go, oh, I haven't got that either. I'll get that. But no one wants to get the old one they haven't got, even if they can see the new wave's been out for months and it's not there.
Yeah, and it also depends on like the variants and what people are after. Like I imagine like wave 1 of the movie deluxes is still shell forming around here.
Like I don't see how it's hard.
And so that's obviously going to make it so that the retailers don't want to get into later waves. But I guarantee you, if Wave 3 came through, they'd be flying off shelves like that.
But that's what I mean. Like, how hard is it for them to pay a dude to just like go on to social media groups and stuff and see what everyone's talking about? Like, they don't even have to go in and post anything. They just go join some Transformer groups, toy groups in general. Just see what people talk about, and like, surely they'd learn. Like,
that's why the specialist retailers do so much better.
Exactly.
Like, even if the prices aren't all that different, they know what their target audience is, and they know what the best things are to get.
They know not to buy 1,000 of one figure; they buy like 5 or something.
They know, like, you get this thing. It happens all the time with Star Wars stuff, where like the first wave for any of the movies just hangs around for months and months.
And because they just oversaturate it, they get so many boxes thinking that everyone's just going to like run in like a Black Friday, sale or something. Like.
Yeah, and it just does nothing. So like we're to the point where now there's stuff coming out for the new Han Solo movie and no one's buying it.
It's like that new Millennium Falcon that came out in one of them. I haven't seen it yet. It's like the Millennium Falcon that came out, one of them. It's like a gun, sort of, and you hold it, like a rocket pops out and shoots, and it came out first, and it was like $180 or $200, and it was like $150, and it was $100, and it was on sale for like $30.
Oh, yeah, I got it for 30 or 40
And that's when Luke ended up getting it as well, because it was like super cheap. He's like, yeah, that's sweet. And I'm like, even I laughed. I'm like, yeah, you still see them in some of the toy stores, I swear.
But that's sort of the model, the Hasbro or the retail model that I learnt after Toy Fair last year. And it's just 50% of Hasbro know they're going to make three or four waves. They know how many waves they're going to make. That wave 1 is 50% of the total toy distribution. For Power of the Primes, wave 1 is 50%. You got wave 2, which is about 20%, wave 3, 20%, and wave 4, 10%.
Yeah.
And that's what the problem is. That's why always movie figures again here, same too. Barricade, Berserker, are just hanging on shelves. They're everywhere, and Slash. They're just wave 1 figures.
And a lot of the time, the things that they choose just don't make sense. Like, they're going to put Slash in wave 1 and Cogman in wave 3. Whereas everyone wants Cogman. I have not seen a single person who wants that Slash figure.
It's like they do that. They go, yeah, well, if you're not going to buy the shit figures, you're never getting the good figure. Like it's like, yeah, we know you want Cogman. That's why we're putting it in the 3rd wave. And if you don't buy up the 1st and 2nd waves, guess what? It ain't coming.
But then they turn around and like coming into the Bumblebee movie, and it's like, well, okay, we didn't have a lot of figures sell, so okay, we're just going to have 5 figures. And we're going to make it into the movie studio series or whatever else, and do that. It's like they're their own worst enemy.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense at all. You got to wonder sometimes, and that seems to be the biggest thing where people. The only reason people they go if current lines are at retail, they go and buy them. If they can't find those figures at retail, then they'll go online, and that's where retail brick and mortar shopping ends. John, as a masterpiece collector,
Yeah.
I doubt very much you've ever gone into a Toys R Us and brought a masterpiece figure.
No, that's it. Like one out of the whole set. Like Bumblebee, I bought at Toys R Us. Otherwise,
120. What was that worth?
I think it was 110 when I got it. Like,
Okay,
but it might have been
but-
120.
yeah.
But I knew it was more. I knew I could have at the time ordered it online for maybe $90. Like, but I was there, and I had the money. I was like,
Exactly.
why not? Like,
And
I'll
you
get
had,
it. Like,
you had $15 shipping, and you're not far off. So
yeah, like, because if I go home and order it, I still have to wait a week. Where if I pay that $20, I've got it now. And sometimes that, I like that. Like, I don't mind paying that extra just to have it right there and then. Like, but otherwise, I got a few at as we all know, that famous picture of me holding a shitload of masterpiece boxes, looking like people are going to rob me. Like, that was bye Max.
Mm.
Like,
there he goes.
He'll be back.
Yeah,
But,
no, I just love how people shit on Toys R Us for their prices. Yet, if you really want something, you're gonna pay. Whether it's eBay, where you go on eBay and you bid on.
That's it for me. It really comes down to not their price; it's their stock. They just don't have what I want. You know what I mean? Like, that's the bad thing. Like Toy World, if you go to Toy World, even in Brisbane here, like they've got good stuff there, but then they do have ridiculous prices. Like they've got SH Figuarts Ninja Turtles there, and I think they were $180 each. Like, and that's like a 60. We're talking about a $60-$70 retail figure, and you can still buy them at like around roughly $80-$90, and yet they've got them for $180 each. And like that's stupid. Like I don't understand that. Like but then they'll have other stuff that's good prices.
Yeah, I suppose in a lot of cases they're relying on like just a sort of walk-in parent type market. Where you get some, and they've got no idea what the actual value of this stuff is, so they're just looking for a gift for their kid.
But in these days with Supernova and everything, everyone's how can they just think that, like, I know people are still that ignorant, some of them, but like they have to pretend that people aren't.
Yeah, but that's you're talking about crazy prices at Toys R Us. You never buy figures at Supernova. They're even
worse. Like I'm saying, but because of people like places like Supernova, people know stuff like this. Slowly starting to get educated. It's like Toy Hunter, and everyone thinks they're a bloody expert and like has something that's worth like thousands of dollars because they find an old figure.
It all comes from like just talking to people as well, and you get a better understanding of what the market value is and how it behaves.
Yeah, but that's like even the first couple of weeks after the last night come out, went to Toys R Us in Canberra, and just a whole aisle full of the five part Infernicus, Skeletron,
just too many.
Whatever the Griffin was.
I suppose in a lot of cases you do get that crazy stuff does sell through. Like I haven't seen Infernicus for ages. Skeletron and that Megatron are impossible to find.
Yeah.
Like, and it goes for all other lines as well. Like they did a 2-pack of X-Men figures that were like way overpriced beyond what you'd normally get at retail, and they still completely sold out.
Yeah.
Because people want that stuff.
Yeah, that's
when they want it, like they'll get it. Like,
that's when I remember Metroplex was in there for $2.99. Like that's stupid amount of money for Titan's Return Metroplex or Titan.
How much was it at Big W or something? No, not Big W.
I brought mine for $90 from
Meyer or
Target.
something, and they're like $350 or $400 for
Ford Max. Ford Max is still that. Yeah, Triplicon's the same.
Yeah, and I suppose.
But then again,
those did sell. So I suppose that market of parents just buying stuff for their kids and whatever, who've got no idea what the value is, that does still have.
Or they're scared to put their credit card in on the internet. That internet's going to steal my details.
Yeah, but you got to do. Like, if you want that Titans Return or the Titans Return Fort Max, you're looking at $200 for the figure, even at retail. Plus, you're going to be looking at another $20 or $30 to ship. Okay, $350 at Myer is a little bit ridiculous, but when they have their sale on, you can get it for $200, $250. Then it sort of brings it down to that. Okay, I can get it now.
Maybe if they started doing pre-orders, it would have saved them. You know, like most toy stores in general, like that's their real problem. They need to get an online store and put up those figures and go, taking pre-orders now. And obviously, if they get enough,
I suppose Toys R Us started to do that, and they also introduced, payment plans or what have you, because they understand that a lot of the market does come from collectors nowadays.
Yeah, see, because that works. That seems like to me it would work, because then you don't order, like if obviously you get then 1,000 pre-orders, then you only buy like 100 more units or something, or like whatever, like because you think, oh yeah, like clearly we're not going to get heaps of people running the stores, but if like you got like 10,000 pre-orders, like yeah, you're going to get a few, maybe 1,000, for each store or something, or 1,000 and divvy it up through the stores after that. Well, you could have the initial pre-orders as well, if served.
Yeah, you could Toys R Us Australia put up stuff like MP Road Rage and Shadow Panther.
Yeah,
so obviously they've got to know that no one in like the general public is going to know anything about those. They know that these collectors are out there buying stuff.
Yeah, and that's good. See, that means they'll probably stick around. Right.
Yeah. All right. Anything else we need to discuss? Like Toys R Us is going to be around here for a little bit longer.
I think, the only real issue here is the jobs. We lost. Beyond that, the community's got options, and maybe Hasbro gets affected in the long run. But for the time being, that's just the one issue to worry about. And
Hasbro only loses 3% of its sales.
Well, they seem to advertise the fact that they're releasing a new masterpiece might come out to say, hey, we're releasing Hasbro Asia, and it's up for pre-order or up for availability through Australian Toys R Us, which, unless you're really, really down for that numbering system and down for getting something first, which unfortunately just seems to be the YouTube reviewers, then I don't think this really matters at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think the thing of Toys R Us Australia is that it has been it does seem to still be really successful.
And what about Japan? Did it mention anything about Japan? Toys R Us has Japan. Like they have a Japanese branch. They have Toys R Us babies as well. Like there, like a whole like baby section store that's just
I haven't heard anything.
Babies R Us or whatever.
Maybe I suppose Babies R Us might still be functioning then, because I haven't heard anything about that.
No,
I think that's a bigger company than Toys R Us is at this point, actually.
Yeah, there you go. Like,
And as for Hasbro's loss of sales, like 3% isn't actually going to mean that much.
That's what I was meaning.
While it seems like, okay, in one financial year, that's a big drop. But Hasbro is, like, if you look at the amount of stuff that gets shown at every convention and toy fairs, like to the point where they're not even waiting for cons now. They're just like, oh, you know what? Here's random Russian media, social media site.
Well, that's it, and that's 3% of their sales all up, not just Transformers.
Yeah, because they're just cranking up the amount of product on every single one of their lines, like to a degree which I don't think we've ever seen before. So
that's what I'm saying. So that
Hasbro's going to
smaller into individual lines. It's a very small percentage of sales that each line loses.
Yeah, like Hasbro's not going anywhere because of this.
No.
Well, that's apparently Hasbro was. They didn't lose, but I think they underperformed by $2 billion on the last Jedi toy sales or something.
I think is very much, not. I think it's less of a Hasbro thing, and more of the Last Jedi thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's going completely back to the prequels where. Yes, everyone brought everything from Phantom Menace before they realised that, okay, this might not be what we wanted film-wise, and then Clone Wars and Sith sort of didn't do as well toy line either. But
you look at stuff like, Hasbro just showed off a Black Series Admiral Holdo at Toy Fair. and everyone's just going, "No, what are you doing? No one wants this."
Because no one liked the character.
Yeah. And they keep on doing that. They just put out all these obscure characters from the new movies, which no one wants to buy. Like, you don't buy
Oh, don't worry. There's completists that are buying it.
Yeah, I suppose so. And they're also doing stuff that they're just not progressing in technology. Like most of the Star Wars lines now are just like 5 points of articulation. That's it. Whereas all their other lines,
They're slowly regressing.
Yeah, and now they're sort of relying on nostalgia and the fact that probably the kids in today's market don't know any
people
better.
played with computers for so long that they forgot how to play with toys. So now we've got to go back to simple toys and then slowly build up again. You see, Max? This is what's happened.
Yeah.
They're not as bad as those, Avengers figures that you see that are just like the dolls. Their arms just like move up like that, and their legs don't bend or anything. They're just like
articulated
those
shampoo
the
bottles.
Titan Hero ones.
Yeah.
That's like something you'd unwrap and it'd be chocolate filled or something. Like,
But because they got electronic chips in them that talk to each other, they're worth $50. All right, let's get some new acquisitions. Max.
Nothing for me this week. Someone else?
John, anything?
No. I was just trying to think. I went to trade day today, but I don't think I got anything Transformer related. I got a little tiny Veritech keychain, but it's in my car hanging off the window, like windshield. So that's sort of a Transformer. But nah, yeah, it's been slow.
It's all to me. It's all to me.
Take it away.
Continuing off the last time I was on, DX9 War and Pocket Series. Sludge.
Awesome.
Again, just as I said with the Grimlock, just the yellow paint and not the chrome is fantastic. It's got a very nice brushed silver color, as you can see. Applied my first sticker to a third-party figure.
Oh no!
Today, which was the Autobot symbol for the head.
Did you feel a little dirty at first, but then you slowly lived with it?
No, I don't know if it's going to stay there, and I don't know if the head comes apart. I'm not exactly sure on the transformation. There's a mushroom peg there on the bottom of the head, so I don't think it does split. But Dinobots are Dinobots. They're not Dino robots.
I
so
they live as dinosaurs.
Yeah, exactly. So these me fans toys ones are never getting transformed. These aren't as well. So I was going to get and put the Autobot sticker on the chest as well, but I'm thinking, no, they're going to stay as this. So
I mean, if you're practically invincible as a dinosaur, why would you change into a robot where you're vulnerable?
Yeah. And it's sort of the figure itself, like you can see there's a bit of a difference between the neck.
Still looks cool though.
Very
nice.
I'm not a real fan about how the chest sort of expands out from the neck, but
for how it's there when you're holding it side on, looks like fine. You can't tell at all.
Yeah. And for Dinobots, they're fantastic. I lose my job in 2 weeks' time, so I'm gonna feather out these other couple of purchases, and hopefully by the time I get to it, Snarl will be here because he's the last one waiting for. But fantastic figure, and
he looks obscenely G1.
Yeah, and that's sort of one of those things, and I was going to bring it up last time we done it. Just going for that yellow, it seems that most third-party figures and even official stuff is going for the toy accurate stuff where it's chrome, chrome or gold. Where these are going for that cartoon where it's yellow.
I prefer the cartoon look than the honestly, I like the yellow.
It fits in more of the rest of your collection.
Yeah, and I sort of asked a question a little while ago as well, like the Masterpiece Megatrons, even the third-party Megatrons, everyone's gone for that silver homaging the gun, or pretty much just going after the MP05, where now MP36 has actually come out and done a cartoon-accurate Megatron, which isn't going for that slavish silver gun. Is Mitron and Apollyon and all that just going after the silver color because that's what the gun is? and then it's the robot second.
Yeah, maybe.
I'd say, yeah.
I think it works out for better for MP36 because, like, the silver is a nicer color, I suppose, but I don't know. I find that grey just actually manages to look really fancy, and it fits in with the actual character as opposed to just the toy.
Yeah, the grey's a lot better. Like, that's it. Like, and I agree because he looks more like the animation and stuff. Like, he never looked silver in the show. Like, I never.
So
thought he
now,
was silver.
if engineering and all that aside, if Mitron come out in that flat grey and not silver, would anyone buy it? Or is
I got MP36.
yeah? Oh, dropped him. But yeah, just availability, and I suppose we get into it briefly here. We were going to mention at the end of the main discussion. MP36 is starting to be confiscated by local borders patrol, apparently. So if anyone doesn't have it already,
Too late.
you might be in trouble.
Oh, still meant to get another 10 more.
Oh, I love this too.
12 more, I think. So
Yeah,
I
love
hope
this.
it doesn't get confiscated.
If it took him this long to catch on to MP36, I doubt you'll have any trouble getting your hands on like
A truckload.
a KO version or a third-party version.
Yeah.
And apparently the knockoff's better. So
Yeah, I just love too how they got the real wide hips.
Yeah, so
So
you
you
can
can-
still do that. Oh,
Yeah, you haven't got the boogle eyes that the Fans Toys one does, but you just really spray the hips and just go.
Just put some blue tack on. Just put some blue tack on there and like balls. You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
his eyes are like.
Yeah, sculpt some little
Yeah.
eyes, because you could really do the.
I was going to ask that guy. Can he?
Oh wow, they go completely out. So
Oh, can be like paddles.
yeah, well yeah, there's paddles right there.
Any
So,
else? Any other ones, or just that one? Because you already had the other 4.
It's just no. That's him reported on Grimlock. Swoop and Snarl are out there, and Swoop and Slag are out there. But I was talking about when I had Grimlock, just the box art, just that watercolor image of like the Dinobots fighting the Constructicons on the mountain, the volcano in the background, and even like Sludge here. You got sort of like him in the water,
cool.
just like paddles, just like that watercolor art. I'm displaying these boxes are going in display as well. But that's sort of like the Grimlock art, like just that mean ass Dinobot sitting there looking and going, yeah, bring it. But sort of with retail as well, like it been in Broken Hill last week, walked in and there's 4 of the Power of the Prime's Dinobots sitting on shelves. Whether that's just
seen them here.
Yeah, there was 2 Grimlocks. Like whether that's just there's not as many Transformers fans in Broken Hill. I'm guessing that's the case because they're still there, and not so much that Broken Hill has got better distribution than what the rest of the country has. But there's still people like the cities. You see Jason and Mikey and them in Sydney, where they go out to Toys R Us or Kmart or wherever else, and Power of the Prime stuff's just littering.
Yeah, and I go to mine and don't even see it at all. Like, I just want to look at one in the back and go, oh, that's what it looks like in person. But, like, it's not even there.
We got 2 Grimlocks and 1 each of the Dinobots at my stores here, and that's it. Once they went, we got nothing else. So...
I swear when I went the other week, there was a Victorion still there in the box. And I'm like...
Oh, wow.
I'm like, that's what I mean. I just laughed. I was like, oh, that's so crap.
Oh, all right.
Clearance then enough.
Yeah.
But that's the thing.
You wait primes, you know, the orange one.
Oh yeah, well if that comes back,
yeah, I'll just see a whole bunch of them.
All right, a little bit of TCA business before we get heavy. Member sign-ups. We've got the members only giveaway for the Autobots Welcome Doormat and the G1 Megatron lampshade, which is coming up at the end of the month for Easter. So you can jump on over to transformerscca.com and check out the membership sign-ups there. But apart from that, thank you for listening. You can find out all the stuff we're about at transformerscca.com. Podbean, transformersweekly.podbean.com. And we have the Facebook page, Australian Transformers Weekly, where you can discuss, and the run sheets that we go up each week, so you can see what we're talking about. Or check out the YouTube channel, or check out the website where the run sheet also goes up there. But apart from that, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
We recorded a day late, hoping there was some more news, and there really wasn't. But we had a bit of a discussion anyway, so
Yeah, it can't hurt to get a bit more in depth into a single topic.
It's always good.
that's it. All right, thanks, guys, and we'll be back next week.
Awesome. Catch you later.
Good night.